In this video, we're going to look at the Jona Haro SAUDADE drum kit for Kontakt and for Slate trigger. Now, I don't have Slate trigger, so we're going to be using it here in Kontakt. Right here, you can see it. I already have it loaded up. We'll get to this in just a minute. Let's go ahead and actually close all of these out. Right here, the Vultures Overhead SAUDADE drum kit. This is the sound as heard straight from the original recording, which means these samples are already prepared. You can go to YouTube and watch this video right here to actually hear the drum samples, the exact drum samples you will get whenever you purchase this. And it's not very expensive at all, as you can see. First off, what do you get here? You get the sounds as heard straight from the Vultures Overhead's record, SAUDADE. And the formats include our wave format, Kontakt 5 with the NKI and the NKM, which is your multi, and for trigger 2. Now this includes a kick, a snare, a rack tom, and a floor tom. You can see each of them have several layers and different kind of hits there. And of course the snare has a side stick and rim shot articulation. And we will need Native Instruments Kontakt 5.5.2880 or higher. And you need the full version. Otherwise, I believe it will time out on you if you're just using, say, the player version. So this is what you get. This is the website you'll come to. I'll have this in the link below. So let's go ahead and check this out now. First off, let me just show you here. Whenever you download this, whenever you purchase it and download it, it will come in a zip file. Just simply unzip it and throw it into whatever folder or file directory you want. I just, of course, put it into my Native Instruments directory. So here it is. Pop into it. You can see we have our Kontakt, our samples, which this is our wave files here. All of the wave files. So you can use this. You can use this in any kind of sampler. Really, you could even just drag these right into, say, Pro Tools or something if you want to build your track that way. And of course, your trigger version right here. Very cool. So pop into the Kontakt version. All right, so that is exactly what you get. It's not a huge download. It's not a huge library, but you know, these samples sound really, really good. And again, we won't come here to libraries to load this up. We'll come here to files and then just navigate to wherever you have placed your SAUDADE drum kit. Just navigate into it. We'll go into the NKI first so you can see all the different NKIs. I can just throw one in here. There we go. There's the interface. And if I hit a key on my keyboard, so you can load them up one at a time like this. Let me change this to Omni. Or we can just use our multi, which is what we're going to do. So we'll just go to the NKM and I'll just double click that and we'll just throw all of them in here at once. Let me go ahead and adjust these volumes up just a bit. All right, so looking over the interfaces, you'll see they're very clean and they're all exactly the same. Don't worry about these faders over here. All we're dealing with is this direct fader right here. Of course, you have your mute, your solo, and your phase there, which you won't really hear right here, but that will come into play if you happen to need it. And you can route it up here. And of course, your level slider. All that's pretty self-explanatory. And also we have these little gear icons. Click that and you'll have a couple more options. I can just turn it off if I want. Hitting a key, not getting anything. There we go. We can pan it and pan it the other way. Okay, I'll just hold down control, click there to center that, and your left right swap there. Again, you're not really going to hear it here. But there you go. That is the interface, and that's the interface for all of the different drums here, as you can see. Very cool. Very simple interface. And you can see what you get here. You get your DW PDP main stage 22x16 kick drum. We get an awesomely sampled Mapex Black Panther Blaster snare here. Let me. And like I said, those samples are already prepared. This is literally right from a professionally produced record. So you really don't have to do any mixing at all. Now you may need to do some mixing, of course, depending on the material you want to use these samples on, but you may not have to do any mixing at all. You could just probably just draw on your MIDI and be good to go. Sounds great, right? Okay, we'll get back to that in just a minute. Going through what else you get here. You get your PDP main stage tom, a rack tom, one single tom, and then your DW PDP main stage floor tom. And here's our rack tom. Very cool. So that is everything that you get. You don't get any cymbals, any hi-hats, anything like that. You would, of course, if you already have Kontakt, you could grab some cymbals from within your Kontakt factory library or any of the other drum libraries that you happen to have, or whatever other kind of wave files or whatever you happen to want to use. So let me go ahead and go through this here at different velocity levels so we can hear the kick really low. Sounds great. On to our snare here. Very good. On to the floor tom. And then our rack tom. Very, very cool. Now there are no MIDI files that come with this. So what you can do, one thing that you can do that you may not know, you could actually come in here to something like, say 60s drummer, 70s drummer, 80s drummer, modern drummer would be pretty cool to use. And we could, let me just grab this one and just throw it in here. So what you could do is you could actually grab some of these grooves here and pull them out and throw them into your MIDI track. If this happens to be the only sort of grooves you have, I'm actually going to close this out because I don't need it. Another thing you could do, if you don't want to load up, say 60s drummer or 70s drummer, whatever the case may be, another thing you can do, let me head back over to my native instruments folder. And we'll just pop into, say, modern drummer. We'll just come into the MIDI files. This is a little bit easier. Go into either of these here, and let's say nu metal, and let's go for something right here. We'll just drag some MIDI in from right here. Again, keep in mind, we don't have any cymbals or hi-hats loaded up. So let me just grab something like this and just throw it in here, and we'll hit play. Pretty cool. Sounds really, really good. Just want to show these off a little bit here. Let me throw in another one here. Let's adjust some tempo here. Slow it down just a bit. Not too bad. We're going to have a demo of this later on. Right now, we're just sort of going through and just hearing what this sounds like. Very good. I really like that snare sample that they're using. That Mapex sounds really, really good there. Let's go to something else here. We'll come here to, say, 80s drummer. And by the way, I could even use MIDI files from BFD3 if I wanted to as well. And just make sure the mapping, just make sure the mapping is right, of course. Just grab something here. Just something at random. Throw it in there. Of course, you'd have to throw in some hi-hats in this case to really get the feel of that groove there. Moving on, grab something else here. A little more complex. That sounds really good. Set your levels right here. All right, pretty cool. So that is the SAUDADE drum kit. Coming up next will be a bit of a demo I just put together of just some drum tracks, and I'll throw in some cymbals here and there too. I may use cymbals from some of the other libraries that I happen to have right here. Is like something from like 80s drummer, 70s drummer. I can use those cymbals. I can use some cymbals from the factory library. Just keep in mind what you get with the SAUDADE drum kit is just a kick, a snare, a tom, and a floor tom. You can add in your own hi-hats and your own cymbals, but overall a really, really professional sound with, as you saw, I didn't do anything. There is nothing on this channel. Look over here. Inserts, we just have Kontakt. I'm not doing anything behind the scenes either, adding effects or anything like that within Kontakt. This is just the straight samples. Again, they're already pre-produced. These are the exact samples you're going to hear in a professionally produced record. All right. And as you can hear, they sound pretty awesome. And you can have a professional drum sound just that quickly and that easily. Again, we'll come over to files to load those up, not in your libraries, but into files, and just find your NKM. That's the easiest way to load everything all at once. I'm not going to EQ, compress, or anything. You're going to hear exactly what this kit sounds like. I will throw in some cymbals here and there though. So right here is the demo section. And as you heard, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Very, very professionally done. Actual drum samples from a professionally produced album. So once again, head over to this site. The link will be in the description below and you can purchase it for yourself. Very nice drum kit. Go check it out.